Because the experience was not the plane crash, landing, ditching, whatever you want to call it. That was not the experience that I walked away with. That was the event that happened to allow me to walk away with the experience that I walked away with. Because the experience of knowing that there is God and I have a relationship with Him is what I took away from this. I have a hard time remembering the flight number because that just was that was an occurrence that gave me the event in my life.
Moments after U.S. Airways Flight 1549 took off from New York's LaGuardia Airport, the plane suddenly plummeted into the Hudson River.
And captain came on and said, "Brace for impact." And when he did that, we were told by the flight attendants to assume the position of bending over and bracing for the impact, put hands on top of a head and bend over. And so when I did that, I prayed and said, "God, I'm coming to see you. I hope you let me in, and please take care of the family. Please watch out for my wife and my children and my grandchildren." And then it was silence. There was a few people talking quietly on the plane, but there was no screams or anything. We all knew that we were going to crash and die. There was an experience of getting off the plane and getting to the terminal and the Red Cross, the Jewish Relief Agency, and police and firemen and everybody else offering assistance. When I had the time to stop and think about it, I was very grateful for what had happened, and the praying started again for thanks. And it changed me in a way that said, my relationship is solid, and I know it's solid. The next day, I went in, there were people, went into work in New York in the office, and there were people who came by and spoke to me, and I was able to tell them about the peace that came over me and what it had meant to me from that standpoint. I got back on a plane, flew back to Charlotte, got in the car to drive home, and during that car ride, I knew it, but I'd been talking to Manchi about the newspaper wanted to talk to me, and especially the TV station wanted to interview me for that news that night. And I told Manchi, I said, I'm not the type to do that. This is low key. It was very personal. I don't need to go out and say anything about it. It was just not a need that I had. And she said on the phone, she said, "It's an opportunity for you to give your testimony." And I said, "You and God are ganging up on me, you know? So go ahead and set it up and I'll do it." And it was an opportunity to think in that ride home from Charlotte of what it had meant and what really was important in life. Now, my life hasn't changed to the extent that I'm now able to do things I wasn't able to do before, and it hasn't changed the fact that I'm still a human being and I'm still going through the same temptations and the same questions, and all of that occurs. But what it does, it gave me an anchor to say that regardless of what happens, I know that's there. I know that that happened, and I know that it exists in me today. And when I got home, the whole family was there. Manchi and my son and daughter and their kids were there, and it was like Christmas or Thanksgiving dinner at Grammy and Papa's house. And it was an opportunity to gather them around and say, okay, not only have I had this experience that allows me to know that God is there and I have a relationship with God, but I also have a relationship with family. Now, I don't get to spend much more time with them, but it allows me to understand the value of doing that, and the value of that. The way I put it is that when I go in a nursing home, who's going to come see me? And it's going to be family. So that's the balance that it's given me.